for such a time as this. You know, in looking at Max Ferrand's collection of the records of the Federal Convention in 1787, one looks at the debates that were going on around the framing of this Constitution. And specifically when it came to the proposal of amendments and when the insertion of the Part B, which is to give the sovereign legislatures of the states the ability to step in when the federal government started acting totally irresponsibly. There are a lot of folks are concerned over doing something at a time such as this. But when you read Ferrand's collection and you're reading the journal entries, the diary, and the letters that were sent back and forth, our founders actually foresaw the type of period that we're living in. Runaway government that ever since Woodrow Wilson's time, the administrative state that we are creating that is sucking up so much of the personal wealth of individuals, and the ability for people to just have a decent amount of money in their pocketbooks to spend on their families and their lifestyle. The regulations that are coming down that have the force of law, which are in this republic, our founders never wanted to see. The administrators are unaccountable. And ever since Wilson's time, it's just started to run amok. When the executive branch now is both the writer of the law through the form of regulation, the enforcer of the law, and they're also in the administrative proceedings, they're the judges. They've taken on the role of all three branches, and they're unaccountable. Our founders wanted the people who are writing the law to be elected every 2 years for a reason. Because when government starts using the force, holding a gun to the head of every constituent, every citizen, when government starts using that force to do things that are untenable and just sometimes just outright appalling to its citizens, the people have to have a way to strike back, and that's at the ballot box. You cannot do that with an administrator. You look at what's going on down in D.C. right now. Peter Schweizer's got an excellent book. It's called Extortion. If you want a page turner on government that you won't be able to put down, read that thing, because he digs in and he outlines the amount of money that is being used right now. The representative from Philadelphia brought up rightly about the impact of money on these types of issues. But quite honestly, if you read his book and the expose that he did on it, it's already going on. And it's going on to the detriment of every working class person in the United States. This is the opportunity for the people who are closest to the citizens, the state legislators, the people's house in the states, and our state senate to step up. And I am very grateful for something that Representative Gobler has in here now that he did not have in 4 or 6 years ago, which is the delegate resolution. There are a group of us that ever since the countermand amendment, which I'm a sponsor on, we've been pushing to get the delegate, the ability of the legislatures drafted into the resolutions in such a way that if those people start trying to act outside of the scope of what the state legislatures have sent them for, the legislature has the ability to recall them, and not only that, but hold them in contempt. And in Pennsylvania, contempt of the legislature can be up to a 2-year sentence in the Dauphin County Jail. It's not a pleasant place. So what we have the ability here, and as was mentioned before, Representative DeLisio brought it up, every time that we've come close, and it's happened several times, virtually every amendment in the United States Constitution has come about because the states have been pushing for it. And it's come about because we've been coming so close, we've come so close, and then the Congress finally sticks its hands up and say, okay. So for that reason, all of those reasons, I'm a yes on this.